So again, the point tonight, in today's Tornado Alley, we can stay safely grounded by doing justice, loving kindness, and walking humbly. Doing justice. What does doing justice look like? The NLT calls this, New Living Translation says, to do what is right. The Message says, do what is fair and just to your neighbor. The idea that I have in my mind is to look up from our self-focus and to look out and be aware of those around us. It's that same idea. There's a Brandon Heath song that's kind of groovy, actually, if you hear it. I like this song a lot. It says, give me your eyes for just 1 second. Give me your eyes. Yeah, I heard somebody, I like this song. Give me your eyes for just 1 second. Give me your eyes so I can see everything that I keep missing. Give me your love for humanity. Give me your arms for the brokenhearted, the ones that are far beyond my reach. Give me your heart for the once forgotten. Give me your eyes so I can see. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good prayer to pray. Give me your eyes, God. But justice is more than just seeing. And sometimes justice is more than even just acting. So I want to think about a scenario. You're standing near a river. You're an able-bodied, well-abilitied swimmer, okay? You can swim. You're healthy and you can swim. You're standing by the river and you see a person coming down the river who is actively drowning. It's clear. Active compassion jumps in and saves the person. That's what you do. So you're on the bank, you're drying them off, and you're drying off and you see another person floating down the river. Again, I would say that active compassion causes you to jump in and grab the person out. So that's 2 people. And you're sitting there, a third person's coming down the river. Now, compassion saves the person. Justice goes upstream and sees that there's a bridge out. Justice figures out with other people how to fix the bridge. In this room tonight, I think there are a lot of different kinds of people. And I don't want to put down the person that jumps in and saves the person. I think that is a form of justice. Maybe you're the swimmer. Maybe you're the one that cares for the people after they're saved. But in this room, there are some bridge builders. There are some people that are going upstream. They're gathering others to help. Maybe there's some people in here that fund those projects. Maybe there's some people that swing the hammer. We live in a city and go to a church where you have plenty of opportunity to help. I am really excited about what we have as opportunities in the justice area. When I grew up, I don't remember as many opportunities. In the different cities I've lived in my life, at the churches I've been at, I don't remember as many opportunities as I continue to hear and know about and participate in at First Free. We don't have to actually reinvent the wheel. We can come alongside people that are building the bridge right now, have located where the problem is. They're at the root of the problem, and all they need is more people to help. And we can help. We can do that locally, and we can pray for eyes globally as well. We've got connections through missions. There are missions trips that are available through our church. We have opportunities to support and help those around the world. Guys, for me, this is overwhelming, though. Do you ever feel just a little bit overwhelmed? I mean, you're flipping around the channel and you see the picture that just grabs your heart of the child who's starving. Where do we start? What do we do? Now, I know there are a ton of people in this room as well that actually have started. They stuck their toe in the water. They jumped in. And maybe you're actually in over your head and you're overcommitted. And so there is a wide range of people here. I want to challenge you to ask, how can I live out justice in my life? How can I be doing justice? What I know is that even in these economic times, we are still a privileged people. And we know of needs, and we know of organizations that are at the root of those needs, and that need people to give, and that need people to work. If we don't do something, if we don't do it soon, I feel like we are in the middle of a field with a tornado around us, covering our eyes and our ears in denial. We have to act. We have to do something. That's doing justice. The second security to keep us grounded is loving kindness. What does it look like to love kindness? The ESV, which I'm preaching from, the English Standard Version, says to love kindness, but some other versions say to love mercy. To love mercy adds the thought that anyone who's in a weaker position than you should be saved, delivered, helped, walked alongside of, loved, not reluctantly, but out of a spirit and a heart of generosity, with God's eyes, with God's heart. And it's interesting because doing justice without loving kindness can become pretty harsh. You actually can be doing it out of arrogance, out of a sense of you've got everything figured out of a sense that you're right, out of a sense of pride. Loving kindness balances out this whole idea of doing justice. And the depth of this kindness, this mercy that the Bible is talking about, I can't overstate to you guys the depth of this mercy. The Hebrew word that stands behind this word is hesed. Hesed is a really important Old Testament word, and it conveys this promise from God of his relentless pursuit of us, his persistent love for us. He will never stop pursuing. He will never stop loving us. Even in the harsh words of the book of Micah, even from his rebukes, God is loving his children. He's willing to do the hard work of telling them to be prepared for a tornado, to be prepared for the truth. He's telling us the truth. Now, these are two ways that I flesh out loving kindness. And maybe this will help you. First, it's that we do our best to love others like God loves us. So the depth of this word hesed is pulled out in how we love others. We know and characterize and understand God. The Message puts it this way, that we are to be loyal in our love of God, loyal in our love of others. Another way the word's translated in the Bible is steadfast love. I like that. Steadfast love. Love that's patient. Love that endures. It's love that comes from us, from God, through us, out to others. That's the first way that I think of loving kindness. The second way, though, is to understand the depth of that kindness that comes from God and to love it. I mean, to turn back to God and say, God, thank you for the depth of kindness and the depth of mercy and the relentless commitment that you have for me. Thank you for that. Become more and more familiar with the God who has promised to love you forever. Study his word. Understand where in the Psalms it says his steadfast love endures forever. Learn to love that. So that brings us to our next point, is we are orientated out in justice and in loving kindness to others as we turn back to God and love the kindness that he has given us. The last point is that we are to be walking humbly. We can stay safely grounded by walking humbly. What does it mean for us to walk humbly? This phrase, walking humbly, could really be rendered kind of from the original language. It could be rendered more carefully to walk deliberately, to walk intentionally. This command is about us squaring our feet and looking to God. I started to learn the violin the other day, and my daughter is learning the violin. And the first thing you learn when you learn how to play the violin is how to stand.